Morning and good Memorial Day to everyone. It's coming up on, well, let me see what time it is. About 06:30 Central Daylight Time, which means it's coming up on 11:30. Oh, Universal Time Coordinated. And as I said, it's Memorial Day. Um, I'm taking a look at the front of my mobile home, and because I don't drive anymore, I can't easily get around to the memorials of my mother's side of the family, which are nearby, or my father's side of the family, which are spread all over the United States. So I'm bringing Memorial Day home as best as I can, and I'm going to explain to you how. If you look at the flags and the things in my image that are, or the things that are, that you can see in this video, let me explain to you where my heart, my mind, and my prayers are with this morning, are at this morning. At the very top of the flag jib, the flag flying from the top, is a retired, recognized ensign of the United States, the United States Yacht Ensign. It is still recognized, although it has been officially retired as an official emblem of the United States. The United States Yacht Ensign indicates a pleasure vessel that does not leave the waters of the United States. And pretty much, well, my mobile home isn't going anywhere outside of the United States, so it seems to be a bit appropriate. And I have a bit of a nautical bent. And this was the flag that would have flown from the sterns of my father's vessels and my vessels in my day. Beneath it is a small blue flag. That flag is the ensign of the United States Merchant Marine. My family, as have most families here in the Americas, have heritage that goes back to merchant mariners of all nations, not just the United States, who traveled from Europe to North and South America and brought us here, brought our forefathers and foremothers, our families, from other lands, some in exploration, some in on expedition, some in the carriage from lands from which they felt oppression or a lack of opportunity and sought it here in the Americas. Not only the United States, but North and South America. Beneath it is a smaller flag that bears the colors of the Wilmington Transportation Company and the Wilmington Transportation Company emblem. This was the tugboat company that was owned by the Wrigley family of Chicago, the same Wrigleys who owned the Chicago Cubs, that was began by Phineas Banning when the Port of Los Angeles didn't even exist yet. California, I don't know if it was even a state yet. But Phineas Banning began the Wilmington Transportation Company, which built my home port, which is the Port of Los Angeles. And the Wilmington tugs were still functioning back in the 60s and 70s and through the 90s until the company was acquired by Foss out of Seattle. When my family was aboard our little pleasure boats in the harbor, we would often see the Wilmington tugs, and they were quite colorful, and their crews were quite friendly, and they would always wave at our little boat, and they brought us a great deal of joy. So I recognize those individuals too in their service in the Merchant Marine and in the assistance of other ships that brought so many things to our nation from foreign lands. Now, one thing that you might sense may be missing, and that is what our Native Americans sacrificed for all of us. And we should think about them too on this Memorial Day. But if you look at the land, if you look at the grass, if you look at the trees and the sky, the spirits of the Native Americans who were here before any of us of European descent had arrived, well, they're here too. And they're all around us. To remember them, they need not a flag. They need us. They need us to remember and to appreciate them. Because so many of them lost so much when we of European descent came and then began to take their land from them. But they too knew that the land wasn't theirs. No more than the land underneath my mobile home is mine myself. It does not belong to me. That belongs to God. Now, the world is a far more complicated place. And yes, I'm bringing things down to being just simple. Excuse me a second, the truck's going to drive by. And perhaps my view may be somewhat simple. But as I arose this Memorial Day, and I began to think and pray and meditate and seek a level of mindfulness of the sacrifices of all of my forebears and all of our forebears and all that we should remember under God today as we gather and take a moment to remember. Well, that's pretty much what came to mind. And now that this is done, I need to go ahead and get ready for church. My friend Cindy is going to come over and gather me, and we are going to proceed west to the church her father established. And I will attend with her and her family. And I will humble myself and pray, as we all should, and give thanks for all that we have in our lives here and throughout the world. Good luck and Godspeed to each and every one of you. I pray that you have a good and wonderful Memorial Day. Maybe this afternoon you'll be able to take in a baseball game or cook some brats and enjoy life. But always give thanks. Always remember. Always be mindful of those who have brought to us the moments that we live in now. Good luck and Godspeed. And we're going to see you around town.